Season 3s are renowned for being some of the most controversial and divided seasons of all time. So much so that many believe there's a Season 3 curse. These seasons haven't quite done it a lot of times. And so that got me thinking, I wonder how they stack up against each other. So today I'm going to rank every Season 3 from every chapter from worst to best to find out which Season 3 will take the crown. But real quick, before we get into the video, just want to say be sure to subscribe if you like this kind of content, like the video. Just be sure to use code Brivy in the item shop when you're picking up absolutely anything. Anyways, I love you. Enjoy the video. And real quick disclaimer before we get into this video, I'm not counting the Star Wars mini-season as a Season 3. I'm counting Chapter 6 Season 3 Super as Season 3. So worst to best, the worst, Chapter 4 Season 3. So not only is this a bad Season 3, but it's one of the worst seasons of all time. And for me personally, this is the undisputed worst season in Fortnite history. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that there's been a lot of bad seasons in Fortnite's history. There's only been like 4 or 5. But most of them fall under one of two categories. Either they're really boring and they don't have any updates or content, and that makes it bad. Or they're too much. It's got too much going on. It's too drastic of a change. The changes aren't necessarily good. The gameplay suffers from it. So it's usually one of the two. This season somehow manages to be both. It was one of the most boring seasons of all time, and it was also kind of unplayable for the majority of the season to me. All they did the entire season was just keep adding a broken weapon like every 2 weeks. And even though the weapons were broken, it was still boring after that. Like, at least in other unplayable seasons like Chapter 5 Season 3, there was some fun to be had, and at least like some entertainment. Wilds just sucked in all aspects. Just not a lot of good that came out of the season. The only updates they had this season were just brain-dead broken items being added, and that was it. The summer event was non-existent. It was pathetic. Transformer collab was awful. It was literally just a Cybertron cannon in a skin. I think this season is when they added ranked, which is one of the worst decisions they ever made for competitive. The jungle biome, in my opinion, just wasn't very good. It was too big in the middle of the map. It was just a very hard time to play in Fortnite. Now, there was some good to come out of the season, like the flapjack rifle, which is actually debatable to some people. The new MK rifle, the Sharp 2 shotgun, the grind rail vines, you know, there was a little bit of good, but overall, just a whole lot of trash. So it goes undisputedly at the bottom of my list. And at number 5, we got Chapter 5 Season 3. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, it's whatever. Now, I will say before I get too far, I'm ranking strictly on Battle Royale. Like, if I were to take all the game modes out of the season, like Reload and Festival and Lego and Rocket Racing, it would probably be at number 4, but I'm ranking just the main Battle Royale game. Like, yes, I understand those modes were added in Chapter 5 Season 3, but I don't think of Reload and then think, oh, Chapter 5 Season 3. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because they're all permanent game modes, it doesn't really matter that they came out in Chapter 5 Season 3. It just matters that they're still here. So I'm not going to give Chapter 5 Season 3 credit for that. It just so happened that they came out during that time. Now, we all know this was coming. I will say it made it out of last place. Great job, but it has to go at 5. Now, I will say 5 and 4 are a lot closer than I would have thought. They're kind of interchangeable, to be honest. It just depends on preference. And my preference, unfortunately, puts this season at number 5. Now, this was no doubt the most controversial season of all time. The community was completely divided, and it made for a very toxic Fortnite media experience. Now, I've talked about this season a lot in the past, so I'm just going to kind of be brief here. This is the most drastic gameplay shift we ever saw. Cars, Nitro Fist, Nitro splashes. The meta was filled with a lot of rambunctious, broken items that, you know, didn't require a whole lot of skill. Some players thought this was, you know, the best thing ever, while others, like myself, tended to see the flaws and focused on them. Competitive was complete and utter trash this season because of this meta. It doesn't work. You can't have this meta and expect a good competitive season. It's just not a competitive meta. And with all that being said, I still had a lot of fun this season. I did have to step back and pretty much become a casual player, even though I'm pretty good at the game. Anything competitive I just back away from, which I should never have to do. And for that reason, this season will always be bad to me. Call me a hater, call me, you know, a non-adaptable OG, I don't care. If I have to switch my entire identity as a player, like, I just shouldn't have to do that. I barely touched rank because it was terrible. I played mostly zero build pubs, and I had some good fun, I'm not gonna lie. And there were also a lot of good collabs this season that kept me coming back, even though I hated the meta. Metallica, Pirates of the Caribbean, I think Fall Guys was right at the end. There's probably another one I'm leaving out. Overall, this season was just too much for me. I'm sorry. The gameplay was bad, and the meta just didn't appeal to me personally at all. Listen, I'm an OG. I'm Unk. So I like you know, a pump shotgun and, you know, just being able to crank 90s. So this season goes at number 5. And at number 4, we got Chapter 3, Season 3. Now, you remember that little graph we made earlier about bad seasons either being too much or too boring? This season falls in the boring category. It's the literal definition of it. And to me, that made this season pretty bad. And like I said, Chapter 5, Season 3, Chapter 3, Season 3, it's just a matter of preference. You can kind of put them interchangeably. Me, personally, I would rather have a boring season that's at least playable than have a season with a bunch going on, but none of it is good. Chapter 3, Season 3, it wasn't good, but I mean, at least I could still play it. At least the gameplay was still kind of concrete. And it wasn't terrible. It wasn't good, but it's a matter of preference. And maybe one day I'll change my mind. I don't know. Chapter 3, Season 3, I don't know what it is with Fortnite, but they can't do summer events. I don't understand why it's so hard to do, but I guess it is. To be honest, they set the stage really well this season. Like, they did well with the theme. The trailer was good. Everyone was, like, pretty hyped for it. It looked like this kind of fun and chill season, and it was pretty chill. It kind of forgot, you know, to make it fun. They fumbled the bag completely. I mean, this could have been a good season. It just wasn't. Everything about it was just boring. The map addition to me was boring. The reality saplings, which is kind of what they based the whole season on, that was a boring mechanic. The weapon meta was boring up until they added the Dragon Ball stuff, but we'll talk about that later. Competitive was boring. It's just everything about it was it was just boring. And for that reason, a lot of people have this season like at the very bottom of their list. And I can't blame them. I mean, it wasn't good, but I would much rather go back to this season than Chapter 5, Season 3. Yeah, I think I covered most of the bases. The weapon meta wasn't great. The AR meta was actually very good. Chapter 3 did this thing where the shotgun meta was just trash for the entire chapter. It didn't change this season. They added the prime shotgun, which, I mean, I guess was okay, but it still wasn't good. And then we still had the poo-poo dog water, striker pump, and auto shotguns. So, I mean, bit of a yikes. And the SMGs were still the same. It was the same stupid combat, stinger, broken, dumb. And then I think they added the charge SMG, which was such a random item. I don't even know how I remembered that. They added the Ripsaw launcher at one point, I'm pretty sure. They brought back the suppressed AR. I remember that. Just overall, not a ton of content this season. It was a pretty just, hey, figure it out yourself. We're going to have this season. We're not going to touch it much. And that's exactly what they did. The season suffered because of it. And also, this is the season where they decided they could just put whatever the heck they wanted in the game and just, you know, just because why not? This was the season where they added Dragon Ball. They added the skins, and then they added the 2 mythic power-ups, the Nimbus Cloud, Kamehameha. You could get them pretty much anywhere. Kamehameha was disgustingly broken. Nimbus Cloud was pretty broken too. It was a movement item, so no one really cared about it. But this is where Fortnite kind of lost me, I'm not gonna lie, with the collabs, because Dragon Ball, just in my mind, has nothing to do with summer at all. Nothing says summer like getting hit in the face with a Kamehameha. Like, it just didn't make any sense. So yeah, wasn't a huge fan of this season, but I do think there is some novelty in it. I do think it has some charm to it. I look back on it and I still have some fond memories of it. So it's going at number 4. And at number 3, we have Chapter 6, Season 3. The only reason that this is going at number 3 right now is because the season is not over. I think if they do like just one more like pretty good update, I think this will probably slide into the number 2 spot for me. This is a fantastic season. I don't need to explain it too much. The gameplay is really good. The weapon meta is really good. There haven't been too many like stupid broken stuff to ruin my day. They've made good, pretty tame additions to the season. Nothing too insane, but enough to kind of keep us entertained. This is a good season 3. So I'm putting it at number 3 on my list. And I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of the season. Even if they don't do a lot else, I think it still lives up to number 3 on my list. And then at number 2, we got Chapter 2, Season 3. I'm so glad that I get to talk about this season. This season is so underrated. I don't hear anyone ever talk about this season at all. This was the pandemic summer. It was 2020. This was after the really long Chapter 2, Season 2. That was a great season, but it lasted way too long. And we shot into this really cool season. There was so much added this season. The whole map was flooded. There were sharks. We had the charge shotgun. We had the shockwave launcher. We had all the mythic weapons, Ocean's Burst, and the recharging Chug Jug, and the grappler glider thing. This was just great summer vibe. This is how you do a summer season. It's fun. It has to do with summer. Fortnite has kind of lost that touch of seasonality. They don't really pertain to the themes of seasons anymore. Like, even in Chapter 6, Season 3, like, this should be a summer season. It doesn't feel like summer, which maybe the game has just outgrown that. I don't know, but I missed when the time of the year was what it was in Fortnite. It was really cool to see water on the map and have, you know, this beach music play whenever you did quests, and there was something about it, man. Now, there were some issues with Chapter 2 Season 3, mainly just being comp players, just they didn't like the map being flooded, which is a valid complaint. It was a little hard to get around. And obviously the charge shotgun replacing the pump, that wasn't taken over too well. And they nerfed the tack, so they basically forced you to use the charge, which I didn't love. But I liked everything else about the season. This was a great time in Fortnite for me. So it's going at number 2. And then number 1, yes, who could have guessed it? Chapter 1 Season 3. Just by far the best Season 3. It's to me the best season in Fortnite history. I'm not going to talk about it too much just because I've glazed it so much in the past, but this was just a fantastic season. Weapon meta was great. The skins were iconic. The memories I'm thinking of now, they're just great. Updates were cool. They were bringing so many new weapons to the game. Map changes were the only thing that were like not fantastic, but I mean, I was still happy with them. You had to be there, and if you weren't, then you won't understand. I'm sorry, but it's going at number 1 on my list, and that's not going to change. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. This is a fun video. I really like this, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, just make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, use code RivenItemShop, you know, all the above. And anyways, just thank you for all the support. I appreciate you guys so much. Anyways, Jesus loves you. I love you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.